Hello, Samadan here, and I can't believe August has gone already. What a month that's been. There's been a real pickup in sales, which is really nice. The feeling I've got now with World of Warcraft is slowly building itself back up. The excitement for 9.15 is really nice. I can see a lot of alts being made. So that's very exciting news, and hopefully some more people will come back to the game and buy some of my stuff, and hopefully we can all make some gold together. Okay, so let's have a look at our graph in its current state. We haven't opened up our gold for the last day, but let's look at the last month. So the month before, in July, we made about 720,000 gold. And here, according to TSM, my total profit is even higher, 997,000 gold. So that's almost a million gold in the last 28 days, and I'm very happy with that. There's been a good steady rise, a few decent sales along the way, a few little bits of expenditure along the way, but we started at 1.2 million and we're now here at 2.2 million. The token price is 274,000, so that's just under 4 tokens in a month, which is obviously, if you're just wanting to get game time, that's plenty enough. In terms of what's been selling, well, obviously you can see here Grimveld Cape and Corthite crystals being the biggest expenses and sales. Now obviously I am not by any means very far into the legendary market. I'm only really selling the Grimveld Cape plus a few other cloth pieces. So what I'll do is I'll just go through and open up my last bits of mail, see if we can grab any more last minute sales. As always, there seems to be a couple of thousand in sales to start my mailbox journey. We have some bags, some rings, usual enchants selling well as always. Let's go open up everything else and see we've got at the bottom. Okay, so that's the bottom of the mailbox, not a huge amount extra, 4,000 gold in total, so usual bits and pieces, and Netherweave bags, Time of Illusions Cataclysm there, some Veiled Augment runes, always doing quite well at the moment from the mission table, and a few other bits and pieces. We'll have a look at the ledger properly once I've gone through all my characters and see what kind of other sellers we've got in that time, but so far so good. We'll take the extra gold. And then I'll jump through my other characters and just see what the final tally is for the month. Okay, and Bridget here, my engineer and jewel crafter, sold a little bit of engineering, and I think that's my first Shadowgast necklace I sold. Probably a rank 2, I imagine. I haven't got any higher than that. Going to be interesting to see how I develop that further. I'm starting to think about how I'm going to do some more legendary crafting, especially with jewel crafting. With the price of the Corthite crystals coming much lower now since the crash, I may start making those rank 2s into rank 4s and see if I can get a few sales that way. Still early days yet, I'm reluctant to spend too much money, but I'll take that, that's good for now. Okay, Earthen, my leatherworker, Shadebound Greaves and Desolate Leather Helm, so basically the Crafter's Mark 3 and the Novice Crafter's Mark is my usual bread and butter for leatherworking. Get some really good sales throughout the course of the month, but so far another 7,900 gold, so I'll take that as well. So El Morte, my blacksmith, now nothing in the mailbox. To be honest, this is representative of blacksmithing throughout the month really. It's been a bit disappointing, if I'm honest. We have a little bit of sales, nothing huge. Again, doing the Crafter's Mark 3 and the Novice Crafter's Mark gear is the main thing, no legendaries to speak of. Maybe a few Shadowgast ingots here and there, but overall it's been one of the lesser selling armor professions for me. Now that could be down to competition on my server, it could be me not pricing my things correctly, or it could be down to simply there are less plate wearers, but I'm not sure. Compared to cloth, I would have thought there had been a few anyway. But as it is, we've had a few sales, but nothing massive there. Now, alchemy is a little bit like my blacksmithing. It kind of hits and misses from time to time. I'll get a few sales. I've trimmed out a few of the stuff that just really hasn't been selling. And my main problem here with alchemy is I'm not really actually restocking frequently enough. If I did that, then I'd probably see more sales. If I also focused my listing time just before raid time, then that'd probably get me some decent sales. But as it is, I've been very lackluster in keeping it stocked up. I'm making so much money on the other professions, I haven't really needed to do much with this. At this stage anyway. And the same here with Samadan, my scribe. We're getting quite a few sales of missives. I've literally just sold one just now. Those are ticking through quite nicely. If I get round to making them, I tend to be, again with this one, I tend to be neglecting the profession a little bit. I could make a little bit more gold here. It just ticks through for the moment with the odd sale here and there, and restock when I have the time. And lastly, here's Hellfire, my flipping character. So I've been using the same flipping profile as I've been doing on my NA series. I built myself a little stock of stuff that's just ticking through ever so slowly. Nothing too much to write home about at this point. I'm just, as Hellfire is the excess gold storer, it's difficult to tell exactly how much gold I made this month, but I'm getting a few sales here, investing in a little bit. It's more just kind of something to do to keep the character active for the moment. But my process will be simply just to go along, collect up all the things that I've been investigating, and then post them straight back on the auction house, using the same profile as I use over on the NA series. It would seem here on Shadow Song I don't tend to get the same volume of sales as I do over on Lightbringer. Could be server dependent, could be timing dependent, as it's early in the hours of the morning when I do my restocks on Lightbringer. But we're currently sitting at, what's that, 946,000. If I have a look at Hellfire, you can see she's actually spent more gold than she's made, mainly because whenever I spot a bargain, I tend to send it over to the character that could do with that bargain. So I have actually ended up spending more gold there, about 20,000. So it's not a, yeah, minus 14,000 you can see here. So it's not really a cost-effective way of doing things, but I have spotted the odd bargain here from time to time, and I'm making a small trickle of gold back. But let's look overall at all the characters. So now that I've collected up all the gold, we've got 2.3 million gold. So total profit has just tipped over 1 million gold here, which is absolutely fantastic. Looking at each of the individual characters, so they all started, apart from Hellfire, with 50,000 gold each. So you can see the clear winner there at the moment is Samadan, finishing up with 805,000 gold. So 755,000 gold made in the course of the last 30 days. That's mainly going to be down to the Grimveiled legendary items, plus some Shadowgar stuff, plus the whole depth of the profession I have with both enchanting, cooking and tailoring. Earthen coming up second there with leatherworking, 219,000. Good steady sales there. Bridget doing well with both jewel crafting and a little bit of engineering, mainly jewel crafting the odd panther here and there, as well as going into the Crafter's Mark III jewellery seems to be doing quite well. And then the three professions that I've not really given much attention or haven't been doing that well, El Morte with blacksmithing, Samadan with inscription, and Awakening with alchemy, each at about 70 odd thousand there. So they've made about 20 odd thousand each individually, which, you know, is nothing to sniff at, and combined obviously gives us a nice grand total of 1 million in a month. So that is absolutely amazing, really happy with that. Let's look at the ledger, and we look at just our auctions over the last 30 days by all items. If we see like the big sellers, we have a number of the Grimveiled capes here, obviously starting off at the very high prices, 179,000, 149, 147. Now obviously those cost a lot to make, so the profits on those weren't as high necessarily as those that were cheaper later on. We've got a few rank 4s, I would imagine there. Grimveiled mittens, that'll be a nice profit margin on that one. And then as the Korthite crystal price has crashed, then we've had a few other sales carrying on through, so they won't be quite this eye-wateringly high amount, but then the costs aren't so high, which for me is much more preferable. I'd rather have a reasonable profit margin on a lower risk item than these high risk items with big expenses. A few good sales there. Inflatable mount shoes, a couple of panthers there is good. Then we've got some rings, quick oxine rings, shade-bound gear for leatherworking, some shadow lace cloaks, been doing very well. A number of those over 6, 7, 8,000. There's that Shadowgust necklace we just picked up. We actually sold an Uncanny Combatant's Polearm, which is unusual. Some more Shadebound Shadow Lace coming through there. Umbra Hide. Some Tomes of Illusions. Secrets of the Shadow Pan. Rich Purple Silk Shirt, always a favourite of mine, going for 2,800. Some Shadestones going there. I keep forgetting to do the cooldown on those. Perhaps I ought to do those a bit more frequently. Then some enchants and rings. And here's some ceremonious gear from the blacksmithing. Helm, pauldrons, a few bits and pieces there. Pink party hat usually does quite well. Then some old world cindercloth vest, tailoring transmog, some more rings. If we look at things that are in number, let's have a look at the higher number items. So we've sold some Sacred Shards, Ember Silk cloth, some Shadowgust ingots there, Raw Beast Hide. In terms of auctions, nothing massive, they're just in small chunks there. So overall, pretty good, I would say. A number of items there. Total 1,800 items sold, 1.5 million. Expenses are going to be mainly, let's have a look, what have we got per items? Big items, lots of Korthite crystals there, obviously, primordial rubies, some silk, and a lot of ore as well, getting myself set up there. Quite a lot in the stack amounts there. Look at that shrouded cloth, loads of that. Some loads of desolate leather, some lacetrite ore, plenty of that going through. Sacred Shards. Now with enchanting, the eternal crystals and sacred shard prices mean that I'm not doing any fancy enchanting shuffles like I did at the start of the expansion. I'm literally just downgrading each of the materials that I need from eternal crystals, and the prices are pretty good from that respect. So overall, fair few expenses, but very happy with that. So what I'll do, again, start of the month, I'll give 50,000 gold to each character so they've got a floating pool, and then we'll start afresh and see what we can make in the next month. But that's amazing. 720 last month, 1 million this month. Who knows what the next month will hold. I'm hoping I'll get a good steady set of sales, the odd legendary in there as well. 9.1.5, don't know when that's going to hit. It's going into PTR very soon, so we'll probably get some excitement coming through from that. People leveling their alts. Obviously they're going to need things like bags and gear for their fresh alts, so I think I'm in a prime position there. Other things I'd like to do is carry on ticking away at the Archivist Codex reputation. Almost there with Samadan, so I can do some Crafter's Mark of the Chain Dial. No idea what those markets are going to be like on my server. Also want to look into the jewel crafting legendaries next, see if we can get a few things there. So overall, really good. So what I'll do next is we're going to have a look at both my NA series, where we're trying to make a token each month, and we'll have a look at Classic as well. So there we go. Hellfire is earning 100 million gold per hour with 2 million gold. We'll see how that gets on over time. Okay, it looks like NA isn't wanting to play ball with me at the moment. We'll have a look at the NA series and buy their token another time perhaps. But let's go over to Classic instead, see what we have there. So over here on Classic, I've been using a modified version of my flipping profile that I've been using on NA and converted it over to Classic, and seeing if I could make some gold just by flipping some commodities here at the moment. My routine is fairly simple. Go through, check the mail first and foremost. Have a look if we've got any sales, of which we have a few down here. Deep rock salt, some cloth. We've got 3 gold, 69. We're currently sitting at 90 gold, so I'll take all of that. We started off this little adventure with 47 gold, so we've pretty much doubled our money so far. Just flipping a few small commodities, trying not to overextend myself when I do, but the routine is fairly simple and very quick to do. Just go through, pick up some items and then relist them and then look for any bargains. I won't look for the bargains here. I'll save that for the classic Let's Play series, but this is the basic commodities flipping groups, split into Vanilla and Burning Crusade. I run a post scan on all of those. Hopefully undercut the competition on most, but we've got here light hide, silver, leaf and cured thick hide. We might have to do something a little bit more specific with. So let's have a look at the silver leaf. We bought this for 21. We bought this for 21 copper. So where's the first pretty stacks? Probably around here at 26. Our min price is probably 24 at best. So if we come here at this and post, we could go 11 stacks. That's a fairly large amount, only 3 silver to post though. So let's start with that. Then let's have a look at this cured thick hide. So we bought for 18 silver, so we should really go above both of these ideally. 21 silver would be much nicer. Let's go in, change our buyout here to 21 and stick them on for that. I think should be a good basis. I think give that a go. Quite expensive to list that one, so we're down to 93 gold here. So looking at this, so this is our graph over, let's look at this over the last month. So we started here at 47 gold, and then we invested in some materials and we went down to 30 gold, and since then we've been turning a few items over, turned that 30 gold into 74 gold, and that 74 gold is now at 94 gold. So just rotating through stock, that's the main thing. So we have doubled our money, total profit 53 gold there. So we'll continue this series throughout all of the next month, just popping on, see if we can list a few things on, and see if we can get this a little bit higher, just on flipping items. Just basic commodities, nothing massive here. And then with more gold, we can start looking at more expensive items, resetting other markets, and we'll develop this as time goes on. I'll keep that in the classic Let's Play series. So we've got 3 series on the go. We've got our main NA series, which we're ticking through at the moment. We've got this classic series, which I'll dip into from time to time. And then obviously our main stuff that we stream in on EU, we'll go through and do that. And then of course we've got our Minecraft series where we're exploring experimental snapshots and enjoying that journey as well. So there's lots and lots of things going on at the moment. But that's how I like it, to keep busy in personal things. I've busy looking for more work at the moment, so my time here is divided between WoW, making content, and making sure that I make my IRL token at the same time. Big thank you to all the patrons and everyone who supports me over on there. It really makes a massive difference. I can't thank you all enough, so if you are one of my patrons, thank you very, very much. And of course, I'll keep my paste bins updated over there, so you'll get all the latest groups and operations that I use myself in any of these series, and you're more than welcome to take them and adjust them as you like. So that's me for now. I'll jump onto the NA series and buy that token and get myself started ready for the month ahead, see what I can make there. But I'll leave you here in Classic Land. Until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you very soon.